Hi all, this is Dr. Archana Chaturvedi from the Department of Information Technology. The subject which I am taking is Fundamentals of Web Programming using Java. Within this, the topic which we'll cover today is data types in Java. So the data types, we will be covering primitive data type as well as the referent data types, and we'll talk about different types of variables supported by Java also over here with example. So when we talk about data types, we should remember this thing that variables are nothing but some reserved memory location which are used to store some values. This means that when you create a variable, you are basically reserving some memory space. Fine. Now, how much memory space will be going to get allocated to that variable depends upon the type of information that variable will be holding in the operating system. So the type of information determines basically in Java or in any other language by the type of data type supported by that particular language. Java basically provide different types of data type, and each data type is represented differently with different size of memory space to be consumed or to be reserved for that particular variable. The two different types of data types supported by Java are primitive and non-primitive. One by one we'll see that within primitive data types, what all data types comes: integer, floating point, character, boolean. Whereas when we talk about non-primitive data type, classes, interfaces, arrays. These are the different types of data types which are supported by Java. If we talk in the detail, like primitive data type are those data types which are basically the fundamental data types or basic building block of data manipulations. These are also known as built-in data types or fundamental data types because they are by default provided by the programming language. These data types are basically means that the variable which we are declaring of that particular data type will be holding that kind of information, and that too within some range. So the data type, if it is an integer data type, there is a range that till how much integer, what will be the maximum integer which will be going to get holded by that particular variable. So that is why we say that Java is a statically typed programming language, means all variables must be declared first of all, then only we can use. We cannot use variable without declaring. Declaration is must, and the syntax of declaring a variable is data type. First of all, we will be writing data type and then name of a variable. It will also be going to terminated by semicolon. Suppose we want to declare an integer data type, we will say int and then num and then semicolon. So this is a way to declare a data type. So the various 8 data primitive data types are Boolean data type, byte data type, char, short, int, long, float and double. So we'll talk about these one by one. When we talk about Boolean data type, Boolean means either true, it will be giving me true value or false value. So it only holds two possible Boolean values, and the keyword Boolean is used to denote the data type as Boolean only. If we talk about default value, so by default the Boolean data type hold false values. These are used to track the condition, whether the condition is true or false, and accordingly we keep on taking our decisions as per the requirement of a program. So Boolean data type specifies one bit of information, but its size can't be defined precisely. So the question comes how to declare. We need to write Boolean, then this is the name of a variable and this is a value. This is how we declare a Boolean type of variable. Then we put semicolon also over here. Then comes integer data type. Within integer data type, It supports 4 different types of integer. One is byte, short, int, long. And the default value of integer data type is 0. In Java, there is no concept of unsigned integer. Whereas in C and C++, there is a concept of unsigned integer also. Here is no concept of unsigned integer. And when we talk about the size of these all data types in bytes, byte hold 1 byte, short hold 2 bytes, int hold 4 bytes, and long hold 8 bytes. And this is the range. If we declare data type as byte, it will be ranging between -128 to 127, short -32,768 to 32,767. Int, you can just look at the numbers. This is the range, and in long, the range is getting higher and higher. So it depends how much size of variable you are going to store in a variable. What will be the size? Let's say you want to store a mobile numbers, and here the total number of digits are 5 only, whereas mobile number contains 10 digits. So that in that case you cannot declare the variable as short. Fine. It depends upon if your machine is 32-bit, you should go for int. Int is having this range. For 16-bit machine, the range for integer data type is 32, 768 and minus and plus. So in that case, you have to go for long. So it depends upon the machine also, how much bit machine you are having and what is the size of data type for int and short supported by that machine. Then in case of floating point type, this is stores real numbers such as 3.28, 64 point something, minus 8.01, minus 34.53. So it supports two type of floating data types. One is float and double. The difference between two is in range only. The range of double is much more than the range of float. Float type represent a single precision number, and single precision occupies lesser space than double precision, but becomes inaccurate when the calculation is coming within higher ranges. For scientific calculation and all, when the ranges are higher, you should not go for float, then it is suggested to go for double. And the default value of float data type is 0.0 f. You can write f in this way also, but here when the precision is double precision number, then it is suggested to declare the variable as of double data type because it stored large numbered values. Normally when we are using some mathematical functions like standard deviation, sines, cos, square root, you don't know, you cannot assume that till what precision the output will be coming. So it's better to use the variable as of double data type, and the default value which is stored in double data type is 0.0 d. So this is the range. You can look at the range. How much is range? It is 038. It is epsilon minus 308. It is plus 308. It is plus 038 in case of float. It is plus 308. So you can just assume the range, that how much range is there in the case of double data type and case of float data type. The number of bytes occupied by a variable of float data type is 4 bytes, and for in case of double it is 8 bytes. Now next is character type. The character data type is used to store single character which is enclosed within single quotes. Supported, it occupies 16 bits of memory. It ranges from 0 to 65,536. The keyword which we use to declare character variable is char, and the default value which character data type stores is null character. Then comes non-primitive data type. Non-primitive data types are those data types which are derived from primitive or fundamental data types only. These are also known as user-defined data types. We can also say these kind of data type as reference type data type. We will see in detail in coming classes The different types of primitive data types are classes, interfaces and arrays. Whereas classes is basically a combination of the properties and methods of any of the entity. When we are defining properties and method of any real-time entity under one unit, that unit is known as class. An interface basically an abstract class wherein you can declare the methods and variables of a real-time entity which can be implemented in any of the further class where we are using the interface. Basically, interfaces are used to implement multiple inheritance. And arrays here, which are those data type, derived data type or non-primitive data types, which store similar kind of values in sequential manner. And they are also of different types like single dimensional arrays, double dimensional arrays, or you can say multi-dimensional arrays. We will see these all things in coming classes in much more detail. Now comes variable. Without variable we cannot store the values. So data type and variables comes together. The variables are of particular data type. So the question arises, what is a variable? Variable are placeholders or a container which holds the values of this particular data type with which we have declared the particular variable. Variables are some named memory location. Otherwise, the moment we declare a variable of particular data type, they occupy the space in the memory. But if they are having some address also, it is difficult to read the address which is in the bits form. It's better to have a named memory locations, and these named memory locations help us to access the value, to manipulate the values which are stored within that variable. There are three types of variables in Java: local, instance and static. So here is an example where I have just shown you that suppose this is a RAM and we have declared a variable in this way, int num is equal to 10 semicolon. So this num will be holding 2 bytes of space in the memory, and the name of this location will be num, and it is having some memory address also, let's say 108F, and the value which is stored inside this is 10. So this is a variable. Variable means which is having variated value which is lying within the range which is supported by that particular data type and having a name memory location in the RAM. So as I said, there are three types of variables: local, instance and static. One by one we will see all the three. Local variables are declared inside the body of the method. If you are having a method, inside that you are using some variables, those are termed as local variable. You can use these variables only within that method only. Their life will be within that method in which they are declared. So it will be localized within the method where it is being declared. Its existence will not be outside the method. The local variable can never be defined with static keyword. Whereas instance variables are those variables which are inside the class but outside the body of a method, because I already told you that class is having data member and member functions. So the variable which we have declared inside the member functions are local variables, whereas the variable which are declared outside the member function but within the class are known as instance variable. It is called instance variable because its values is instance specific. Whenever you will be going to instantiate the object of this class, then only you are going to access these all variables. And these variables are you cannot declare these instance variable as static. Whereas static variables are those variables which uses static keyword to declare themselves. They cannot be local. You can create a single copy of static variable and share that among all the instances of the classes. Memory allocation of static variables happens only once only when the class is loaded in the memory, and after that once you keep on changing the value in that static variable, it will going to hold the change value in that particular memory location all throughout the life of a program. Whereas in case of instance variable, it reinitialize it again and again with 0. Whereas static variables are not going to reinitialize, it always hold the last change value in them. This is the example. Here this is a class. Within this class I have declared this variable. It is an instance variable. I have declared this one more variable. It's a static variable. And whereas within this method I have declared one more variable. So it is a local variable. So this data is equals to 50. It is having value stored as 50. Whereas in case of m, suppose it is 100 and I change if in here the value of m is equals to m plus 10. So it will be going to change its values, update its values as 110. So further on again if I use m, the value holded by m will be 110. This is another example. I am adding two numbers. The name of a class is simple. Within this PSVM, public static void main strings args is the main function. Within this I am declaring two variables a and b. A is holding value as 10, b is holding value as 10. Again one more variable I declared c, within which I am storing the sum of a and b and I am printing. So I'll see the output will become as 20, and these two variables are known as local variables. Here if you look at the example, one variable is of integer type, another is of float type. I am trying to store the integer value into float variable. I can do this. The size of integer variable depends upon the machine. In some machine it is 2 byte, in some 4. Whereas of float it is of 4 byte or 8 byte. So if I try to store a 2 byte of value into 4 byte of memory space, I am basically widening it. So this is a implicit typecasting wherein a smaller data type is going to get typecasted into larger data type. Whereas when we talk about narrowing, here we have to do everything explicitly. I am having one variable of float type holding the value 10.5f, and in the memory it is holding the memory size of 4 byte. Again I am having one variable a integer which is having memory size of 2 byte. If I try to store 4 byte of value into 2 byte of memory space, I will not be able to do this. Compile time error will come. So I need to do typecasting. How I'll do? I will first of all convert this float value into integer and pick its integer part and store it into a. So let's say this f is having value here, f is having value as 10.5 f, and integer int a is going to store the typecasted value, that is int of 10.5. So when you try to print a, you will see that only integer part will be going to get stored into this, that is 10. The output will be 10. Here the output will be 10.5, but in a is only capable enough to store its integer value, not the fractional part, because I typecast it. If I write in this way, the compile time will occur, and this is known as typecasting. This is another example of overflow. What is that? Int a is equals to 130 holding 2 byte of space. Byte b is equals to, you are converting a into byte first of all. Fine. A into byte. Byte is a smaller data type. A is a bigger data type. So what happens when you convert it into byte data type, larger to smaller, the data will be going to get overflowed. The size of A is larger, byte is smaller, the capacity is lesser. So this is known as overflow of information. So this is, you can add lower data type also. and stored it into lower data type. Higher data type can be stored into lower data type by typecasting it, as we have just seen earlier also. Here we are having three variables A, B and C, both are of, all the three are of byte type. When I am adding A and B, it might happens that the sum which like comes over here, 10 plus 10 is 20, which is of integer type. What we can do, we can explicitly convert it into byte data type, and then we can store it into C, and we can see the result. The result is appropriate now, and there will not be any compile error. Whereas if we write simply in this way, there will be a compile error, that is a data type error. Java we can declare constants also. Constants are similar to variable except that they hold a fixed value. Variables can hold variated values, depends upon the input, but it should come within range, whereas constants are those variables which holds fixed values, and they are also termed as read-only variables. Now where is the difference comes when we talk about constant variables? Here we need to make use of a keyword, that is final. Let's say I want to declare a variable max length and the value which I want to store is 420. Then how I'll write final int, then the name of a variable equals to 420. Similarly in case of pi. And another thing which we have to take care of is that the constant should always comes in upper case. So this is the example of constant. Here I have created a class circle area within which there is a main function. I have used a variable pi as a constant over here. The data type is double. As pi is a constant variable, I have written in capital. The value which is assigned to pi is 3.1428. As a normal variable, radius value is 5.5, data type is double, and another variable is area of double type. Now I am calculating the value over here, pi into radius into radius. Radius will be coming from here and this 3.14 will be coming from here. It will be going to calculate the value and then storing the value into area. When I display, I will be able to get the area of a circle with radius 5.5. So here we learned how we used a constant variable pi. The operators, all the operators which you studied earlier in C and C++ are same in Java also. Unary operator, arithmetic operator, shift operator, relational operator, bitwise, logical, ternary and assignment. The way we move ahead, we will learn all these operators one by one in the coming programs. So Java has emerged as a general purpose object oriented language which is supported both as a standalone application and internet application. It is also used to make a websites which are interactive and medium for application delivery. It provides an excellent set of tools for application development and it is ubiquitous. So thanks for the day. See you in another class.